Have you ever tried living with yourself? If so, you will begin to see that yourself is not a static state, it is a fresh living thing. And to live with a living thing, your mind must also be alive. And it cannot be alive if it is caught in opinions, judgments, and values. In order to observe the movement of your own mind and heart, of your whole being, you must have a free mind, not a mind that agrees and disagrees, taking sides in an argument, disputing over mere words, but rather following with an intention to understand, a very difficult thing to do because most of us don't know how to look at, or listen to, our own being any more than we know how to look at the beauty of a river or listen to the breeze among the trees. When we condemn or justify, we cannot see clearly, nor can we when our minds are endlessly chattering. Then we do not observe what is, we look only at the projections we have made of ourselves. Each of us has an image of what we think we are or what we should be, and that image, that picture, entirely prevents us from seeing ourselves as we actually are. It is one of the most difficult things in the world to look at anything simply. Because our minds are very complex, we have lost the quality of simplicity. I don't mean simplicity in clothes or food, wearing only a loincloth or breaking a record fasting or any of that immature nonsense the saints cultivate, but the simplicity that can look directly at things without fear, that can look at ourselves as we actually are without any distortion, to say when we lie, not cover it up or run away from it. Also, in order to understand ourselves, we need a great deal of humility. If you start by saying, I know myself, you have already stopped learning about yourself. Or if you say, there is nothing much to learn about myself because I am just a bundle of memories, ideas, experiences, and traditions, then you have also stopped learning about yourself. The moment you have achieved anything, you cease to have that quality of innocence and humility. The moment you have a conclusion or start examining from knowledge, you are finished, for then you are translating every living thing in terms of the old. Whereas if you have no foothold, if there is no certainty, no achievement, there is freedom to look, to achieve. And when you look with freedom, it is always new. A confident man is a dead human being. But how can we be free to look and learn when our minds from the moment we are born to the moment we die are shaped by a particular culture in the narrow pattern of the me? For centuries we have been conditioned by nationality, caste, class, tradition, religion, language, education, literature, art, custom, convention, propaganda of all kinds, economic pressure, the food we eat, the climate we live in, our family, our friends, our experiences, every influence you can think of, and therefore our responses to every problem are conditioned. Are you aware that you are conditioned? That is the first thing to ask yourself, not how to be free of your conditioning. You may never be free of it, and if you say, I must be free of it, you may fall into another trap of another form of conditioning. So are you aware that you are conditioned? Do you know that even when you look at a tree and say, that is an oak tree, or that is a banyan tree, the naming of the tree, which is botanical knowledge, has so conditioned your mind that the word comes between you and actually seeing the tree? To come in contact with the tree, you have to put your hand on it, and the word will not help you to touch it. How do you know you are conditioned? What tells you? What tells you you are hungry? Not as a theory, but the actual fact of hunger? In the same way, how do you discover the actual fact that you are conditioned? Isn't it by your reaction to a problem, a challenge? You respond to every challenge according to your conditioning, and your conditioning being inadequate will always react inadequately.